2003, a quiet corner of the world in Suffolk, England. The British coastline, dotted with quaint towns and picturesque landscapes, became the unlikely stage for one of the most enigmatic scientific experiments of the 21st century. This is where our story begins, delving into the shadowy depths of covert research and unanswered questions that still linger today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Lost Lab, your portal into the hidden world of suppressed inventions, classified experiments, and concealed science. On this journey, we'll explore extraordinary stories, rooted in authentic scientific curiosity, often leading us down a rabbit hole of mystery that intertwines with the highest echelons of power. Today, we unravel a tale that begins with the enigmatic figure of Dr. Eric Curzon, a brilliant biochemist and geneticist whose work had earned him recognition in prestigious scientific circles. However, in 2003, Dr. Curzon vanished from public life, leaving behind a trail that leads us to the top-secret Greywood Research Facility in Suffolk. At first glance, Greywood appeared to be nothing more than an unremarkable coastal lab, housing the work of several marine biologists and environmental scientists. But, as we delve deeper into its murky past, it becomes clear that something far more intriguing was taking place behind those inconspicuous walls. In the early 2000s, classified documents now declassified reveal an ambitious project at Greywood, a collaboration between the British government and Dr. Curzon, aiming to unlock the secrets of human genetics by manipulating the DNA of marine organisms. The objective? To create hardier soldiers capable of surviving in the harshest conditions on Earth, or even beyond it. This revelation alone would be shocking enough, but as we continue our investigation into The Lost Lab, we stumble upon something far more perplexing, a series of bizarre experiments involving genetically modified marine life that defy all conventional scientific understanding. This is where fact meets fiction, and the boundaries of our knowledge begin to blur. To create hardier soldiers, Curzon's research focused on altering the genetic code of various organisms to imbue them with unique properties, creatures that could generate electricity, others that glowed in the dark, and even those capable of self-healing at an astonishing rate. The implications were staggering, but it didn't stop there. In 2003, something went terribly wrong. A catastrophic accident occurred within Greywood's confines, leading to its immediate lockdown and disappearance of Dr. Curzon. The British government swiftly classified all information related to the incident, further fueling the fire of speculation and intrigue that surrounds this story to this day. What truly happened at Greywood? What dark secrets lurk beneath the veil of national security and scientific progress? And what became of Dr. Curzon, a man whose brilliance was matched only by his ambition? Join us as we continue our journey into The Lost Lab, unraveling the tangled web of deception, intrigue, and mystery that surrounds this enigmatic tale. Along the way, we'll encounter real people, places, and events, shedding light on a world that exists just beyond the reaches of public knowledge, suppressed inventions, classified experiments, and hidden science. Welcome once again to The Lost Lab, where our quest for truth begins with one simple question: what lies hidden in the shadows? Delving into the annals of scientific curiosity and controversy, we find ourselves in the early 2000s, confronted with a study that has confounded and intrigued researchers ever since. This enigma, known as the double-slit experiment gone wrong, is a tale of unexpected outcomes and unanswered questions, rooted firmly in the realm of quantum mechanics, one of the most successful yet perplexing theories in modern physics. The double-slit experiment is a classic demonstration of wave-particle duality, which lies at the heart of quantum mechanics. In this famous setup, particles such as electrons or photons are fired at a barrier with two parallel slits. On the other side of the barrier, a detection screen records the particle's impacts. The resulting pattern on the screen is not what you'd expect from classical physics. Instead of two distinct clusters of particle hits corresponding to each slit, an interference pattern emerges, indicating that the particles are behaving like waves. Now, imagine conducting this experiment, but with a twist. Instead of firing particles one by one, you send them in bunches. Surely, the resulting pattern should be more like that of classical particles, right? Well, that's where things get weird. In 2001, a team of physicists led by Dr. Anthony J. Martini at the University of California, Berkeley, set out to do just that. They prepared a beam of electrons and fired them in rapid succession towards the double-slit apparatus, expecting to see two separate clusters on the detection screen. However, what they observed was nothing short of astounding. Not only did the interference pattern persist, but it also became more pronounced with increasing electron bunch sizes. This result defied all expectations and left the scientific community baffled. How could particles that were clearly interacting with each other still exhibit wave-like behavior? The Martini team's findings sparked a flurry of debate within the physics community, with numerous attempts to replicate and expand upon their work. Yet, despite years of research and many follow-up studies, the true nature of this peculiar phenomenon remains elusive. Some researchers have proposed alternative explanations involving quantum entanglement or pilot wave theory, while others argue that there may be hidden variables at play. What makes the study even more intriguing is its association with a clandestine government agency. According to sources close to the project, the Department of Energy's Office of Basic Energy Sciences provided funding for Martini's research, but not without imposing strict confidentiality agreements on the team. To this day, the full extent of the government's involvement in the double-slit experiment gone wrong remains shrouded in mystery. As we continue to explore the strange case of the double-slit experiment gone wrong, one thing becomes abundantly clear. Sometimes the most fascinating discoveries lie not in the answers we find, but in the questions that remain unanswered. And it is within these enigmatic gaps in our understanding that the true spirit of scientific inquiry thrives, a testament to the enduring allure of hidden science and suppressed inventions. 2008, the world of physics was stunned by an unusual experiment conducted at the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Colorado. The research team, led by Dr. Aaron Young, stumbled upon anomalies during a seemingly mundane exercise involving entangled photons, particles of light that become interconnected despite being separated by vast distances. The double-slit experiment gone wrong had already sent ripples through the scientific community due to its eerie similarities with certain quantum phenomena, but this new development took things to another level. Initial findings revealed something utterly bizarre. These entangled photons seemed to be influencing each other instantaneously regardless of distance, contradicting Einstein's theory of relativity, which asserts nothing can travel faster than light. Dr. Young's report sparked heated debates among physicists worldwide. Some questioned the methodology, suggesting potential sources of error or experimental bias. Others were more open to the idea, proposing radical theories such as spooky action at a distance, a term coined by Einstein himself to describe quantum entanglement. What made this discovery even more intriguing was its apparent defiance of Bell's theorem. Formulated in 1964 by physicist John Stuart Bell, this mathematical principle rules out local hidden variable theories as an explanation for quantum mechanics. If correct, Dr. Utrecht, Young's findings could open up a Pandora's box of challenges to our current understanding of the universe. Yet, despite the controversy, no one could deny the allure of such a puzzling result. The possibility of information transfer faster than light, if proven true, would revolutionize communication technology and fundamental concepts in physics. In response to these startling revelations, other laboratories around the globe began replicating Dr. Young's experiment. Among them was Dr. Young's experiment. Helena Blake's team at the Max Planck Institute for Quantum Optics in Germany. Their results, published a year later, added fuel to the fire. They too observed correlations between entangled photons that appeared to violate Einstein's speed limit. As more labs reported similar findings, the scientific community found itself grappling with an enigma of unprecedented scale. The debate intensified, pitting traditionalists against quantum pioneers. Meanwhile, speculations ran wild, from clandestine government projects manipulating research outcomes to multiverse theories suggesting infinite parallel universes influencing one another. Despite the cacophony of voices, what remained clear was that Dr. Young's experiment had struck a nerve. It highlighted not only the limits of our scientific knowledge, but also the power of curiosity and questioning in driving progress. And as we stand on the precipice of this mystery, one thing is certain. Whether these strange phenomena lead us to groundbreaking discoveries or deeper questions, the journey will undoubtedly be one filled with intrigue, debate, and wonder. 2001, the dawn of a new era. While the world was fixated on the promises and perils of emerging technologies, an enigmatic scientific collaboration was taking shape in secret. This clandestine project would become known as the Giza program, an experiment that defied conventional wisdom and challenged our understanding of reality itself. At the helm of this venture were two unlikely figures, Dr. Olivia Zimmermann, a renowned astrophysicist from Stanford University, and Dr. Richard Weaver, a celebrated quantum chemist from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Both were esteemed for their groundbreaking research in their respective fields. However, their involvement in the Giza program would ultimately eclipse their previous achievements and redefine their careers. Dr. Zimmermann's fascination with the cosmos began at an early age, nurtured by her father who worked as a satellite engineer for NASA. She pursued astrophysics with fervor, earning prestigious accolades along the way. Dr. Weaver, on the other hand, was captivated by the subatomic world and made significant strides in understanding molecular behavior at extreme temperatures. Despite their divergent paths, they shared a mutual curiosity about the unexplained phenomena that often eluded traditional scientific explanations. The genesis of the Giza program can be traced back to a serendipitous encounter at a conference on frontiers of science in 2000. Over conversations about black holes and quantum entanglement, the two scientists discovered their shared intrigue for the unexplained. This led them to explore possible collaborations, eventually culminating in the conception of the Giza program, an initiative backed by a consortium of private investors and academic institutions. The objective of the Giza program was ambitious, to investigate reports of unusual energy anomalies at specific archaeological sites around the globe. Drawing from their collective expertise, Dr. Zimmermann and Weaver aimed to apply cutting-edge technologies and scientific methodologies to these enigmatic occurrences, hoping to shed light on their nature and origin. However, as details of the Giza program began to emerge, it stirred controversy within the scientific community. Critics questioned the validity of the research hypothesis, arguing that there was no empirical evidence to support the existence of such energy anomalies. Skeptics also raised ethical concerns about the potential risks and unintended consequences of meddling with unknown energies. Despite the mounting criticism, Drs. Zimmerman and Weaver pressed on, driven by their relentless pursuit of knowledge and understanding. They believed that the potential rewards far outweighed the risks, citing the countless discoveries throughout history that were initially met with skepticism and resistance. As we delve deeper into the story of the Giza program, we are confronted with more questions than answers. What was the true nature of these energy anomalies? How did they manifest at specific archaeological sites? And perhaps most importantly, why did this groundbreaking research remain shrouded in secrecy for so long? The enigma surrounding the Giza program serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of openness and collaboration in scientific progress. While the motivations behind its clandestine nature may never be fully understood, one thing remains clear: the quest for knowledge is often fraught with challenges, controversies, and uncertainties. But it is through this arduous journey that we unlock the mysteries of our world and push the boundaries of human understanding. In the early 2WS, a peculiar scientific experiment was conducted under the veil of secrecy, leaving the global community both intrigued and baffled. This enigmatic investigation, known as the Redirect Announcement Experiment, was carried out by a group of physicists and neuroscientists at the Advanced Neuroscience Research Facility in the United States between 2001 and 2004. The scientists involved were an eclectic mix of brilliant minds, hailing from prestigious institutions such as Stanford, MIT, and Caltech. Their backgrounds varied widely, ranging from quantum mechanics to cognitive neuroscience, creating a unique, multidisciplinary team. The group was led by Dr. Jane Sullivan, a renowned physicist known for her groundbreaking work on the nature of time and consciousness. The stated goal of this unusual research was to investigate the potential impact of anomalous information on human perception and decision-making processes. In simpler terms, they aimed to explore how exposure to seemingly impossible or paranormal phenomena might affect an individual's belief systems and cognitive functions. To achieve this objective, the researchers designed a series of experiments where participants were exposed to various unexplained events, such as objects moving without any visible cause or communication with supposed entities from other dimensions. These experiences were meticulously controlled and monitored using advanced neuroimaging technologies. Despite its unusual focus, the Redirect Announcement Experiment was rooted in solid scientific principles. It drew upon theories of cognitive dissonance, which proposed that humans strive for internal consistency in their beliefs and attitudes. Therefore, encountering information that contradicts one's worldview can lead to psychological discomfort, prompting efforts to reconcile the discrepancy or dismiss the new data altogether. Yet, what remains shrouded in mystery are the reasons behind conducting such an unconventional study in secret. While ANRF has not released any official statement regarding this matter, several hypotheses have been put forward by experts and enthusiasts alike. One theory